educator, scholar, and now candidate for president running for the nomination for the Green Party. It's always great to talk to you, my brother. Welcome to Revolutionary Blackout, our great friend, Dr. Cornel West. We are witnessing crazy times. We got two extreme right-wing parties that are implementing a fascist police state right now. So why do you choose right now to run for president, Dr. Cornel West?
Yeah, it's a wonderful question, no, brother. I've said you would find me in the crack house before you find me in the White House, because the White House has more corruption. It's tied to war crimes. War crime is endemic to the White House, especially tied to the militarism abroad, but also the militarism indigenous to the country, with indigenous peoples and slavery and Jim Crow and police murder and so forth. But I just felt that the decay and the decline of the American empire was proceeding so quickly that it was important to allow the greatest tradition, not just in America, but the greatest tradition in the modern world, which is the Black freedom struggle, which is rooted in an artistic creativity and a spiritual fortitude and a moral courage that has astounded the world. The very fact that Black people still exist is an overwhelming spiritual achievement, given the levels of hatred and terror and trauma that's been coming at us for 400 years. And so the question becomes, as a small wave in that great ocean, and that's what I am. I'm just one small voice in this magnificent tradition of a great people at our best. How do we intervene to keep alive the best of what has been honed out by those who came before, in light of the empirical decay and the imperial decadence in which we live, especially for our children? To see it so they can see it, they can hear it, they can feel it. And when I looked at the presidential candidates, it was just a joke. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just a joke. It's like, going to the Apollo and all you got is country music artists. You say, wait. we need some motherfucking Al Green up in here. Just let Al come in by himself. Willie Mitchell can stay home. We need a voice up in there that's going to try to tell the truth, that's going to be real, that's going to pursue justice, and is going to be mindful of the love that has been poured into us by our mamas and our daddies and our grandmamas and our granddaddies. Now, mine's tied to the West Family and Shiloh Baptist Church. It could be the mosque, it could be the temple, it could be the club, it could be the baseball team, it could be the nightclub. We have experienced forms of love, not solely Black love, but primarily Black love in the shaping of us, and that's inside of us. And we've got to pour that into the younger generation the way the others poured it into us. And what does love do? More than anything else, love breaks the back of fear. And one of the major problems always, of not just Black people, but of oppressed people, is that we walk around scared and intimidated all the time. And once you break the back of fear, and love can do that, light can do that, then you're a free human being. That's why we love our musicians, because they're freer than most of us. Coltrane is freer than most. Aretha's freer. Donny Hathaway is freer than most of us, so they can tell the deeper truths that free us when we receive their gifts. We need politicians like that. So all I'm doing is allowing the greatness of a Black freedom struggle, especially tied to our Black musicians, all of that love and freedom and funk. I mean, funk ain't just a construct. It's against the deodorized. It's against the sanitized. It's against the sterilized and the superficial. It wants to keep things real. And if we had politicians, and I'm not a politician, I'm just a freedom fighter that spills over into politics. Mm-hmm. And every candidacy is just a moment in a movement. And it has to be not just domestic, but international. We'll press people all around the world.
Yes.
Global. That's why I talk so much about Palestine. That's why I talk about AFRICOM in Africa. That's why I talk about U.S. foreign policy in Latin America and in Central America. But I don't remain silent on Cop City either. Yes, because the militarization is internal and external. And they're inexplicably bound together. Brother Martin said the bombs dropped in Vietnam land in the ghettos at home. and view it at the reservations, the barrios, our poor white brothers and sisters, the indigenous, but the system that we're talking about, driven by predatory capitalist tendencies, but white supremacy at the center of it, but ugly male supremacy and ugly forms of losing sight of precious trans and gay brothers like James Baldwin and lesbian sisters like Audre Lorde. We have that broad embrace, but we begin on the chocolate side of town. And all I'm trying to do is bring that into presidential politics. Now you see, see, that's a whole different thing. See, that's like a jazz band dominating Carnegie Hall. You know what I mean? You go from Birdland to Carnegie Hall, and all you hear is Monk and Train. Yeah, it's a different kind of situation.